Welcome to another edition of Insurance Questions Podcast. But we got a bunch to say because guess what episode this is?
100?
100, Sassy Sarah, yes. And it's also number 11 of Tax Questions Podcast. But we're going to be all over the place today. Shocker. Hang on, I got to fix my lighting. 1 second.
Yeah, so if it was caught by the time Eddie hit record, that's what I was talking about, is his lights are off and it makes it look like he's in a dark room.
That matter?
And if not, ignore what I just said and just listen to Eddie saying he needs to adjust his lighting.
So, I got to get our house cleaned done first, and then I'm going to talk for a little bit.
Oh, what a shocker.
I know, right?
Oh, you're going to get it with both barrels today, Donnie Lowe. Just so you know. You might want to leave.
I'll see ya.
Comments and opinions by Eddie Buffalo, Sassy Sarah, and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. Say it, Sarah. Say it.
Like, subscribe, follow, share, do the things on all the things, all the places. And bug Eddie on TikTok, do the fan mail. He loves that kind of thing. He likes to feel like he's important.
Well, I guess
download the videos.
Yes.
I guess the people on TikTok, I guess they think I'm equal opportunity because I have as much men hit me up as I do young ladies on TikTok. I mean, I'm going to put it right out there. I'm an ally. That's it. I like girls. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So, and I want to apologize for our show yesterday. I want to apologize to Donnie Lowe. And I want to apologize to anybody I offended yesterday when I said Donnie was a sexy, you know. So just so,
and so
you know,
you say
Donnie,
it again.
just so you know, Donnie, you are a sexy, and if you are, you got to own that. You know? And so you're probably wondering, you heard a lot of beeps because Tyler's beeping us right now when there are inappropriate things said, because if he started cutting everything, there wouldn't be much of a show left. So after I talked to you about it, I told you that, Sarah, you know, I thought to myself, I wonder how many people in my life that I've come in contact with in which they had a beep button to stop me from saying certain things. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
No.
There aren't enough beep buttons in the world.
Wow. Oh, it's Sassy Donnie, too. It's Sassy Sarah's older brother, Sassy Donnie. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I agree with Donnie. There's not enough buttons in the world.
God, that hurts my... What did you call those things? Heart. I don't have one of those.
Okay, Tin Man.
I know, right? So it's a really good show tomorrow. And on July 4th, we're not doing a day of the show. But we this morning, or last Friday, we taped a patriotic episode with retired Lieutenant Colonel Gregory Traves.
I think it's Lieutenant Colonel retired Gregory Traves.
Did I get the words in there, Don? What's the freaking difference?
Yeah,
all right?
but it's the order.
You know.
There is a very specific order. Do not upset our military personnel.
Exactly.
Or Donnie, pain in the low. PETA.
Beep.
This is very
But you're also running into the issue of calling someone who is in the Navy, Air Force, or Marines. You don't do that. So there's an order to say it. You need to get to the program.
Interesting thing about Greg, not only
they'll have to tune in.
Not only was he in the Army, but he was in another branch of the service. CIA, Men in Black. Tune in and find out.
Men in Black.
I'm really sad that I missed that.
I apologize to Greg and to our viewers. You know, and they're pretty salty about it, Sarah. They don't care about
I know.
They don't care
about
this
one client who I absolutely adore. I love it when clients do this. They are building a new location, and they're also looking at expanding. And so she wants to get the accounting and all the general ledger accounts and have me train her on how to properly account for everything before it happens.
Isn't that
So
nice?
I'm like, every 2 weeks we meet to go over it, and it's amazing. And I'm like, I love clients like that. Come to me beforehand. I can provide you my knowledge.
Yeah.
Whether you take it or not is not up to me, but I can at least give you some information. It's a little frustrating when people do it and then they come to you to clean it up. And the worst part is it wasn't a good financial decision. So you see the company end up having to close because they just weren't prepared for it.
Well, that
happens more often than you think, unfortunately.
That's a great horrible story, because like me and just like me and Donnie, the longer we're in this business, we see horrible stuff, and like we tell cautionary stories, and they're true. You know what I mean? That's what's scary about everything, and you don't want to be the person that happens to,
Right.
Exactly.
Well, and like my thing is, it takes nothing to reach out and ask questions. I know some CPAs will charge you out the wazoo for everything, but my thing is, depending on how long it's going to be, obviously. But if it's a short little 10, 15-minute thing, we kind of price it to where you can come and ask me questions, to where we're not nickeling and diming you on everything. And I would rather my clients sign up with our tax planning portion or sign up for our accounting, where we just meet every single quarter and can ask as many questions as they want, and it's right. And then it also makes the tax return easier, which then makes the tax return cheaper because it's not as much questions after the fact.
I mean, I gotta say, I know I drive you crazy, and I'm a pain in the what, but I have learned so much since we've started our relationship together. And like yesterday, I called you, asked you something, and who did I call? I didn't call anybody else. I called you. So, I might be pregnant. I'm not sure. And Sarah talked me through everything.
Yes.
I mean, at my age, it's like a miracle, right?
How?
Yeah, we'll say it's because at your age, sir. Congratulations to your girlfriend for knocking you up.
Hey, speaking of customers, I had a customer in Schenectady that I would drive there, and that's pretty far from Buffalo. How far do you think that was, Donnie? I can't remember.
About 5 hours.
But here's the thing. They were comfortable working with me, and I would rather go that far and just saying, hey, Joe Blow, take care of so-and-so. Hey, I'm a poet and I don't even know it.
Look at that. You're on a roll again.
So we didn't know. We went back and forth a lot about what we were going to do for episode 100. And I thought it would be fun for all of us to say what episode that we enjoyed. So that was the homework I gave to the crew. And because Donnie and I are such gentlemen, Sarah gets to go first. She's a lady. Lady Sarah.
That's right.
Sound like you're on Game of Thrones. Lady Sarah of McKinney.
Right.
We have a dragon. Are you a good queen or a bad queen?
It depends on the day.
Or are you just a yes queen? Yes.
Not a yes queen, but depending on the day.
I didn't say yes.
But I didn't hear what you said. What was your...
Yes.
Stop.
We interrupted each other. You holler at me all the time, and we're both just as bad.
Right, because I've asked the questions, and you keep going on this yes queen deal instead of answering my question, and then you won't stop talking to where you can hear my question. So I'm lost.
That's the name of her book. It's going to be Yes Queen Deal.
No, that's you.
That is.
You say yes queen all the time. That is your deal.
All right. So what I said was we were going to go around the room and talk about our favorite episodes. And because Donald and myself are such a gentleman, we're letting the ladies go first.
Okay. So here's the problem with that. I don't remember. my favorite episode because we talked about so many different things. And this is what I told you when you mentioned that this is what we were going to do. That was not a wise idea, especially with this one who is on the podcast. And for those who are listening, the noise was Eddie hitting his head against the microphone because I already pre-warned him not to do this. And he did it anyways.
As we end every show, if you like working with people.
And exactly what I said was going to happen happened.
All right, we'll get back to you, Sarah, and we're going to go to Mr. LaFaso. And that is his real name, folks, okay? Donnie Lowe was given to him by some fella he worked with back in Buffalo. I don't know who that guy is.
Good old John boy.
So what do you got for us, Donnie? What was your favorite episode? I'm guessing it's your Billy Sheen episode.
Yeah, I wrote down 3 of them, actually.
Oh, give one to Sarah. She can find a turd.
Yeah,
since we have the time, since we skipped over Sarah, tell us about all 3, John. Yeah, thanks for that, Donnie. Thanks for that.
I like them all. Go listen to all of them.
Cop out.
All right. I don't know the specific number. Okay. Which episode?
I'm not going to know
but
either. So
actually, Sarah, this one is from About You.
Oh, yay.
It's
the number 1 you mentioned. So I'm always number 1. This is great.
When you were talking about dad jokes, and you told that joke, and you couldn't stop laughing.
The sad thing is, I keep on repeating it to people, and they all hate it, Sarah. They hate it.
I'm going to tell you right now, everyone I tell it to hates it as well. I find it funny. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, Sarah.
That's all that matters.
So, Sarah,
that's number 1.
Well, wait a minute, Sarah. What's at the end of the rainbow?
A pot of gold.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I'm going to go with a unicorn.
You're such a jerk.
They'll have to find that episode, or maybe Tyler can post that one part and to find out the real answer.
That's hilarious. See, still find it funny.
See,
I'm hoping you're gonna say mine. So keep on going, Don. What was your other 2?
Well, actually, there was a little bantering going back and forth between you and I, but this was a little more serious. It was about when we were talking about your future self.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that really resonated with a lot of people on TikTok and the rest of the interweb. So go ahead.
All right, so that was my second one, and then of course I thought our episode with Billy Sheen was fantastic.
That's why I didn't pick that one, because I was saving it for you, Don. I knew you were going to say that.
Well, you said it wasn't going to be the one that I thought you were going to pick. So
I'm going to tell you folks a story that I've told Donnie and Sassy Sarah. So our numbers are crazy on the audio portion of our podcast, more than the video portion. And I didn't really get it. And so I'm still new to Greenville, and I'm a good Catholic boy, Polish boy that cleans on the weekend his apartment, which I don't get really that dirty, And so I'm like, I'm just going to pop it in. I was listening to, I think, Spotify. And I was listening to whatever the last episode that we did. And how Spotify gives, once that episode ends, the next episode is the most popular episode on whatever platform that is. Well, at least Spotify does it that way. And which one, do you remember me telling you which one it was? And that is my favorite.
I remember you telling me, but I can't remember which one it was.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sassy Sarah. This is our Freaky Friday episode.
That's right.
So an episode. Well, first of all, usually when I'll call Sarah or I'll text her and give her the numbers that we've hit that morning or the day of or the day after, because I was in it. That's why it was so good. Or the TikTok reels. That's so good because I was in it. Well, let me tell you, Chuckles, that's number 2 on Spotify. And you were there in spirit, but you were not on that one.
But you mentioned me, so there you go.
All right. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes. I pick on you so much. Let's hear your Eddie Buffalo imitations.
Not
Oh
from
God,
me.
no. I'm not good.
Come on, let's hear it.
No, we're good. I'm good.
See, you guys are no fun today. You really are.
Yeah.
You really are. So we pretty much talked about nothing, and we're at like 15 minutes already of nonsense. And
That's typical.
we'll probably get big numbers because it's number 100.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
So when you clean, because you mentioned your Polish heritage, you
Yes.
clean every weekend.
Yes.
Do you add vinegar to your water to clean?
Actually, I buy Windex with vinegar. And
Okay.
I don't want to give them a cheap plug, but the green stuff I've been using because when I had dogs back in Buffalo, I didn't want them to get hurt by the fumes.
Yeah.
Because my kids, like we had an older bathroom in South Buffalo, and I would use every chemical on the face of the planet. I'm surprised I didn't die.
No, but that might explain a few other things.
Right?
little drain damage from all the fumes. Let me tell you what. Or like for years I had a pool. The past 2 years I haven't had to mess around with the pool, which has been wonderful. But my motto was, if my kids' swimsuit are not another color by the end of the season, I didn't use enough chlorine. It's like,
that water's got to be sterilized.
my eyes, Dad. Do you put more in there? I'm like, no, not at all.
No.
So I tend to overdo things a little bit. Go ahead,
Tad bit.
or say like the Texans say, Sarah. He's a lot. He's a bit much. Bless his
say
heart.
that. It's usually bless your heart or ma'am or sir.
Yes, that's like that's all I hear when I'm really aggravated. She's like, sir. First of all, shut up, Betty. I'm trying to talk. I can't understand you when you're interrupting me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Sassy Sarah. Blah, blah, blah. Why do I always put that little twang on the end of Sarah?
I'm just more like, you're not going to be able to hear me if you don't stop talking.
That's it. And then it's funny because one time she was in her car and she said that to her daughter. And I'm like, I don't know who she's talking to at this point. Is she telling me to shut up or the kid to shut up? I am so confused.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it her mom voice?
Oh, 100%.
No.
She gives that look. Like usually she'll give that look like, and I know I'm in trouble.
Funny? What's really funny is my son, and now I have to say more words to him sometimes, but I could just give him a look. And if he catches my face, like I don't have to make any noise. If he just happens to glance over at me and he sees the look, he'll stop. And he goes, I'll stop. And I'm like, all right, we're good.
And he's a redhead, so has it ever gotten to the point with Aiden that when that ginger snaps, there's no talking to the kid? Because he seems pretty mild-mannered for a ginger.
It used to be, but with other people. So with me, I can pull him off the edge. Because, I mean, yeah. On top of having ADHD and he's a redhead and he's a boy. Like, it's things that I've taught him. So there'll be moments where he starts getting overwhelmed, and whether it's he's hungry, so he's like starving and now he's moody or whatever the case may be, he'll actually tell me like, hey, I need a minute. Like, I'm going to say something and I'm going to be disrespectful and I don't want to. So I need to wait. And I'm like, I mean, you're being more adult than most adults, so I'll be kind and let you have your way.
See, when I was a kid, they didn't have the ADHD, MOUSC, whatever the hell you kind of call it. All I was BAD. And you know what was good for that? A good spanking.
I was going to say the BELT.
The worst, though, my poor mother would break so many spoons on my butt, and I would just think that was the funniest thing going.
Did you stuff your pants with a newspaper or something?
Now, you're not going to remember this, Sarah, but Donnie, do you remember in the 70s, like a lot of the decor in a lot of people's homes, they had that big wooden and forks on the wall? You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking the 1970s or the 1870s?
Well, either or, because you were living in both of those times. So
Yeah, I
you
was
tell
asking.
me. You tell me, smarty pants. So she went after me with that thing, and I was a lot faster than her back then. I was young.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Now you
so,
catch me.
so my son, when I tried to spank him, he used to laugh, which is why I taught him how to use his words, and I can give him a look, because spanking never worked on him ever. Like, he just wouldn't feel it. It didn't matter. Or if it did, it hurt for 2 seconds and then he was over it. And I'm like, and don't get me wrong, this kid is the same one who, as soon as he learned to walk, would walk over to the appliances and start headbutting them. There was no
Wow.
registration of pain. Like, he enjoyed that kind of stuff. And I'm like, dude, you're going to give yourself brain damage. Of course, now he's in tackle football, and he's like usually the smallest on the team, and I'm just like, he'll be fine.
Is that why Sears went out of business? Did you have a Kenmore, and every time he dented it, they came and replaced it?
So he didn't hit it hard enough to dent it. He would just bounce his head off of it, and you just hear the thud. And I'm like, I swear to God, if you don't stop.
Well, I will share a story with you guys. And I'm starting to think after that story, it's a redhead thing, because even though I look blonde, I am a redhead. Just when I moved to Texas, I got very blonde. And years ago, when the kids were small, we'd have all the liquor bottles on top of the fridge. Why? I don't know. But I don't know if you guys know what a triple sec bottle is. It had a really heavy glass.
Oh, for the listeners, sorry. You said he didn't know, and I'm like, me and Donnie should know. Like,
yeah, drinkers.
Sorry, listeners who are too young to drink. There you go.
Use drinkers. So, I went to get something out of the fridge or the freezer, I don't remember, and the triple sec bottle hit me in the head. And when it was falling on the floor, broke my big toe. But my head was fine.
That's what you think.
And then I said, where's my buddy Don Law? I don't know. I want to tell you what. Greg, are you and Pat here? Where are you?
This is all coming to fruition here. Just realizing what's been going on with you based on your history.
And it only took 100 episodes. Imagine what you're going to find at the 200th episode. Holy cow. Now,
does anybody know what triple sec really is?
It was like the red stuff. I don't think there was a lot of taste to it. I think it just added to the different stuff, whatever spice that was.
I think it's orange.
Is
orange
it?
And something else, yeah. Pretty sure.
Orange and pomegranate, maybe? Because I know it was very red.
I don't know. We'll have to do some research.
Yes, I'm sure you will. That's how you people in Williamsville are. Yeah, let's drink and clean our gold bars. Can you hear that sound?
Yeah, look at that. You do a good job, so you must have some yourself.
Yes. I'm not going to say what I'm good at, all right?
All right.
We're just going to leave it at that, Donnie Lowe, because
we're better off.
Poor Tyler's getting carpal tunnel from doing all the vaping now. So what else you got for us today, Sarah? Okay.
Did you think of another episode?
I thought we were doing the 100th episode. Did I need some tax tips?
This is your episode. Go ahead,
no,
girl.
It's not.
Well, you said it was the 100th episode that we were skipping my episode, so I didn't come prepared.
We did
Who
tax
said
tips
that? Was
yesterday.
I there at that meeting? I don't think I was there at that meeting.
Tax Tips Tuesday was yesterday, number 11.
It is Tuesday, Goofy.
No.
Don, it's July 2nd, 2024. That's a Tuesday. Did you hit your head?
I must have.
Oh my God. All right. In the broadcast world, this is magical. So we're going to rip the Band-Aid off. Yes, we're taping this last Friday. All right. And Donnie just blew it. He blew the illusion. The illusion that we were doing that. We're this right now. Nice, Don. Nice, Don. So any complaints, please send to Donnie Lowe at www.ebiagency.com or 716-306-2020. I didn't do
Boy,
this.
that bottle of triple sec must have been very heavy.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so here's a conversation that's going on that people need to be aware of is they're thinking of reducing the requirements to become a CPA.
Why?
Because not a lot of people are going into the field.
Yeah.
And so, for example, I'm not a CPA. I've been in the industry almost 18 years, but I've never worked under a licensed CPA. So that eliminates me. And I still have a few college courses to take. So it doesn't matter about my knowledge. The IRS doesn't, or whatever state for licensing doesn't look at your work history, your knowledge. Like I couldn't even sit for the CPA exam. So I would have to go back, take college courses, finish everything, work under a licensed CPA for 2 years. Then I'm eligible to sit for the CPA exam. And at this point in my life, it's just not worth it. And younger people are starting to realize they don't want to do that because accountants work between 60, 70 hours a week, especially starting out.
It made me think of two things, Sarah, because me and Donnie are not registered reps. We have no wanting to do it. We've done fine in our careers without being a registered rep. And the only thing we could do extra is sell variable annuities and what's that one insurance?
Right.
Variable life.
Variable life.
Variable UL.
Now, my question to you, Sarah, what are the benefits of you actually getting your CPA? Does it make that much of a friggin' difference?
So a lot of people only want to work with CPAs, which is fine. And a lot of companies only want to hire CPAs. The problem you run into is, yes, that test is very hard. They work hard for that knowledge. But a few years ago, it came out one of the largest accounting firms was having people take the ethics. I want you to listen to this. The ethics exam for some of their CPAs because their CPAs would not pass the ethics exam.
Wow.
Really?
So you run into that problem of, yeah, they may be a great test taker. I'm not a great test taker. That's another reason I've just never really pursued it.
I stink at taking tests.
Before COVID in Texas, all of your classes you could do online to a certain point. And then after that, all of them had to be in person. And I was a single mom working. That wasn't an option. The only place like a community college that offered those classes was across town. So for me to work and find reliable care to drive across town wasn't an option when I was younger. And I was not going to go to a large university and pay thousands of dollars for a master's out of pocket.
Costs a lot of money.
It was just, yeah, it's a lot of money. So COVID, now they said you can take all the courses online.
They'd shorten your shifts at Hooters and Twin Peaks, Sarah. So
Whatever.
You don't want that.
I was in corporate America. Thank you very much.
Do you even know what Twin Peaks is, Don? Just think about it. It's not the TV show I thought.
It's kind of like Hooters. Just there's
when I first moved here, I'm like, oh, Kevin loves Twin Peaks. He would love coming to this. Yeah, I didn't know that's what it was about.
Yeah. So, anyways, so a lot of people aren't going into the field. So they're looking at trying to restrict those requirements. The only thing technically that a CPA can do that I couldn't, because I mean, knowledge is a dime a dozen. I can go and do all the research. Yeah. I can still take the CPE classes. I just wouldn't get credit for it. I can stay up on the toppest news. I mean, everything. The only thing I couldn't do is if someone needed me to represent them in front of the IRS, I can't do that. I cannot audit financials.
Yeah.
I can review financials and let you know if it's accurate. I cannot do an actual audit. And my firm, we can't do audits because I'm not a CPA. I mean, outside of that, I've seen, and the only reason I have an issue with the people who only want a CPA to do the stuff, which I understand, but I've seen the same people have horrible tax advice provided. and they have tens of thousands of dollars that they're now paying the IRS because they listened to the one CPA who really, they weren't a tax specialist. So I always say find someone who is a specialist in what you're looking for. So like my firm, I'm great at accounting. I have tax knowledge, but I also have employees who know more than me, and I'm first to bring them on board or introduce them to a client if I know that's not my specialty, because I want them to have the best person on their account who's going to give them the proper advice. Like I said, I can look it up, but I have people I can just go, hey, they have a nonprofit, which I have experience in, but that was a bad one to pick. But like nonprofit, they need to know how to do the accounting, or they need to know what to do with the tax forms. So
well, I know you have an entrepreneurial spirit like Donnie and myself, and I know you are looking to purchase other offices. Now, if you go to look for these things, are you precluded from buying a CPA's office because of that?
So I have been told no by the sellers because they want to sell only to a CPA.
What's the state say?
No, it's not the state. I can't buy a firm who does audits because I can't take those clients on. Like I would be losing money because I couldn't take those clients and do the work. So I do keep out a look for that. And then I always ask the CPAs, it's like, hey, I'm not a CPA. I have CPAs on staff. Would your base clients have an issue with that? I've been told yes.
Really?
And then others are like, I don't really know. It shouldn't be an issue.
That sounds like a heck of a gray area right there.
There is. And then there's some banks that only lend to CPA firms, which I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of frustration in the last few years, and it is what it is. There are some roadblocks because I don't have it. But my thing is, as long as you get the best person who has the knowledge, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Unless I say you're being audited by the IRS or a state government agency, yes, go get the person who deals with that and licensed to represent you, whether that's an accounting lawyer or a CPA. And they're in that niche. They know everything about it. Like, go pay the bukus of money you need to get out of it, because that would be better than someone else. But like with the IRS, people can take a test from the IRS. They're called enrolled agents, and they can represent you in front of the IRS. They can still do everything that a CPA can do in that kind of standpoint. They're a little bit more geared to learning the IRS codes and laws, when the CPA covers everything. Like, they cover taxation, they cover the laws, they cover everything. But it's more, I take it of the shotgun approach. They learn about everything, and you got to know what their actual specialty is. Because like you mentioned, acquiring firms. I acquired a firm in January, and some of his returns are great, spot on, and others. And then some of the advice, because he used to be an IRS agent, some of the advice was a good advice, kind of.
I do also like what you said, that if you think that it's above what you knew and know and what you can do, you'll turn it over to somebody else. I mean, Donnie and I are the same way. If somebody really wants a registered product, we'll send them to somebody that we know, so they can take care of that. Because, I mean, I guess the three of us are in the same boat. We all want our customers and our clients to have the best that we can afford.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
was going to mention that.
Yeah.
And if there's something that we're not, an expert in or expert at, we'll refer.
Hey, if I ain't an expert in it, I'll send you to another guy. Because, I'm Donnie Lowe, and I know a guy. All right?
That's right. Watch out.
Not in Williamsville, I'll send you to Kenmore. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Charlie Esposito. I know you're not going to watch the show, but people know you. Yes. Yes. Charlie's a wonderful man. He used to be in charge of the Night of Columbus for the state of New York. Not this year, but the 2 years previously. And shout out to you, Big Shoots. See you when I get back to Buffalo.
I met him.
Did you?
Yes.
Who's taller, you or Charlie?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yes.
He's a little bit taller.
Really? No
I think
friggin'
so.
way.
I
don't believe
think
it.
so. Yeah. So, you had mentioned about like being an IRS specialist. And it's interesting how the government comes up with these designations for different things, because we're looking into being a registered Social Security specialist, RSSS, and just kind of, you just learn the ins and outs about Social Security to help people that are starting to plan for their retirement. When should I take my Social Security? Age 62, 65, wait till 68 or 70.
And Donnie, that's all you need to retire is Social Security, right?
Oh, sure. No. We all know that.
No, I don't. I don't know that. Why don't you expound?
That's only one part of our retirement is Social Security, and that should be furthest down the list. That's kind of like the icing on top of the cake.
Yep.
So you should make sure that you plan to have funds available to you during your retirement.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I think we are getting close to the end of our show. I can't believe it's 100 episodes.
I know. Congratulations.
I couldn't.
I was say guys, but
I couldn't do
guy
it
and
without
gal.
the two chuckleheads that are on the screen with me, and them putting up with my nonsense. I do appreciate you too, even if I don't say it. I do, and I appreciate all our viewers and listeners on the interweb. We got a lot of exciting things coming up in the future. So hang on. It's going to be a fun ride. And like we end all our shows, if you like working with people that are just like you, we're the ones to see. www.ebiagency.com, 716-306-2020. And if you're looking for Sassy Sarah, look, I didn't even do the voice, Sarah. Are you impressed? Because we're professionals on 100, right? Yeah. I ain't screwing around. You can go to the right on the front page of EBI Agency. You can go to the partner section, and who's number one, Sarah? There on the partner section.
Me.
And she's so modest. That's what I like about you.
Usually I am, but when I get to harass you about being number one, that just makes it so awesome.
So I got to tell you. So speaking of this. So we send out proposals all the time for our sponsorship and that. And we were doing this, and she did a beautiful job on it, a really nice job on it. And she said, well, I put you first because, I mean, you did start it all and everything. I'm surprised you didn't put our pictures right next to us, right next to each other.
And I was going to put myself first and just be like, I'm number one.
So if you're lucky enough to get one of our proposals, you'll see Eddie Buffalo first. That's the only thing I'll ever be on. That's number one. That's for sure.
Yeah. I let you pretend like you run the business. I mean, there you go.
Look at that.
Your new name is Salty Sarah. That's it. Sassy Sarah is dead. You Salty Sarah now, girl. So
depends on the day. Like I said, sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad. It just depends on the day.
Tune in tomorrow. We had a really nice show. Tell them about the show since we already taped it, Don. You ruined it. What's the show about tomorrow?
You already mentioned that.
What? What did I mention, Don?
About Lieutenant Colonel retired.
That's on Thursday. We're on Tuesday right now. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We're talking about insurance, Don. I think he had a stroke, Sarah. Don, honey, did you smell toast right now? Do you? I've heard some people, they smell chocolate chip cookies. They're just delicious.
Oh, I love
either one of those things. You're smelling the chocolate chip cookies, aren't you?
I must be. No, I saw a Subway commercial for their foot-long chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, my God. Where are you going to lunch today, Don? Are you going to Deco? Are you going to the Red Barn? Are you going to Henry's Hamburgers? Which one of those are you going to?
Oh. Does Sassy Sarah know about those places?
No,
Even Henry's?
no. And the Henry's was pretty big, actually.
Yeah, that's
Red
what I
Barn
thought.
too. Red Barn was the first company that brought out like the Happy Meal, a kid's meal,
I did not
like
know
with
that.
a toy. Yeah. Oh, useless knowledge up here, Donnie boy. Useless knowledge. So
You're
once
just loaded
again,
with it.
I'm your buddy Eddie Buffalo. There's Sassy Sarah and Donnie Lowe. That you know, yeah, we're broadcasting live right now, Don. Right? Oh no, we're not. No, no. I didn't steal that money. Eddie did it. You know. So don't rob a bank with Don. You're gonna get caught. Let me tell you. So tune in tomorrow for another time travel episode with Donnie Lowe. So, oh my God, you drive me nuts. All right, everybody, tune in tomorrow. Once again, thanks for tuning in and stay safe out there, folks. Take care. And I swear to
Ciao.
God, Don, why do you move the button
The
every
button's
freaking
on the top. It should be on the top
You
now.
gotta hit it twice, though. All right.